Hello everyone, hope you are doing well. My name is Dhara Purohit John and I am the author of the best-selling book Decode Your Quest. On account of this Women's Day, I am here to share with you 3 powerful traits of the feminine energies. And yes, it is not about celebrating women alone. In fact, it is about stepping beyond the lens of gender and creating a space for expression and acceptance for the feminine. If we can just step back and see how across generations women have actually struggled to make their mark in the mainstream careers and industries. In fact, they've even struggled to voice their opinions in their own household environments, which have been dominated by the patriarchy. I feel we as women get appreciated more for how we appear than our strengths. And we also end up getting rewarded for being obedient and being nice. I have been the recipient of judgments and declared conclusions that I'm not good enough, I'm not aggressive enough, I'm too considerate towards the plight of my co-workers, so on and so forth. In fact, when I was the practicing architect, I remember even the workers on site would refuse to take instructions unless I chose to exhibit a very aggressive character. But I feel things are definitely changing. And now we're actually seeing a rise in acceptance of women leadership. So on today's Women's Day, I would actually want us to look at these beautiful, powerful traits that are there in the feminine energies, which each one of us possess. And it is time to recognize it, because by including them, we're just going to create a more empowering and a joyous world. So the number one trait is vulnerability held in assertiveness. Yes. I think it's time to really drop this pretentious attitude of know-it-all, because no matter how much you know, there is always a realm where you don't know what you don't know. And vulnerability, in my opinion, is about declaring with all humility that, hey, there is something more that I need to know. There is something more that I need to do to amend the situation. Vulnerability is not a weakness. In fact, it is a strength, because it helps you to be honest with your own self without the feelings of guilt and shame. Which means tomorrow, when I see somebody else being vulnerable, I do not see that person as a weak person. In fact, I know that this person is actually at a place where he or she can grow and thrive. That is the beauty of vulnerability. It is far from being a weakness, but it's far from being a victim. And balance it out with assertiveness, because I feel assertiveness is just the gentle force which helps you to communicate that, hey, this is the boundary. This is the boundary that I have defined, and I want you to know that it is important to me. On the other hand, aggressiveness, I personally feel, is a more violent force, and it is very forceful on the psyche. So let us embrace this balance of vulnerability and assertiveness. Number 2, nurturance of self and others. I feel the womb of the universe is always nurturing. No element in nature ever feels insignificant, because every one of them are so true to their purpose. Every one of them is evolving and thriving at their own pace and their own time. So can we adopt this mindset? Can we create a space inclusive of everyone, helping them feel secure and safe for them to grow and thrive? Can we drop away our FOMO mindset, fear of missing out, and that there's a need to fight to achieve what we want? I don't think there is. So can we look at nurturance, and can we adopt nurturance? And I also feel that it is far from a rat race attitude, because it is the quality of nurturance where you're inclusive of everyone, including your own self. So it is not about putting others first or putting yourself first. In fact, it is about creating a space, an environment which is so coherent, where everyone is flourishing together. And number 3, embracing the subtler dimensions. The subtler dimensions which hold the traits of forgiveness, compassion, and intuition. When we dive into these subtler dimensions, we're actually trying to comprehend the nuances of existence, and this is real power. By doing this, we're actually opening ourselves to a completely new reality, a completely new possibility. So who knows, when we embrace this completely, when we accept these traits, we might just end up asking different questions. We might just end up choosing different battles. So instead of, trying to conquer the world outside, we would look at conquering the world within. Instead of building boundaries and walls outside and defining nations and fighting, we might just recognize the unique strengths that each and every one of us possess, and then aligning it with the mission and the purpose of growing together. And then, of course, creating a very safe space, a secured space for everyone to grow, including the species that we are yet to discover that shares this planet with us. Right. So this 2023, let us recognize the power in the feminine energy, because in my opinion, it is a force of creation, and hence it is the force of change. So if you actually look around, we are living in the time of disruption and rebirth. Every single thing is getting challenged. The lifestyle, the value system, the belief system, everything is getting challenged, it's getting disrupted. So we are at a crossroads. And I feel whenever you're at a crossroads, it is the best place to be, because now you can make wiser choices. Now you can make more empowering choices. So on this Women's Day, I invite you all to join me to let go of the narratives that create barrier of gender and exclusivity. And for once, let us just stop making fun of how Women's Day is an celebration, which is an extra expenditure on the pocket. And let's celebrate the values, the virtues, the strength and joy that the feminine brings. This 2023, let's unleash the feminine superpowers and let's embrace it, so that we can create a very empowering and evolving world together. I wish you all a very happy Women's Day, including the men out there. And may we all beings, all of us, embrace the grace of feminine and unleash the unrealized and latent powers and build a leadership in the world which is inclusive for all. Wishing you all a very happy Women's Day.